Welcome to Tuber Chat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to one of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 10,000 subscribers. So I'd like to introduce you to Two Pineapples. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. Good to see you again, friend.
For anybody that hasn't already been introduced to your channel, I'd love for you to give your own description. I talk about it often, but I don't want to leave anything out.
Well, you know, my description of my channel has evolved. And when I always talk to people that come to me about starting a YouTube channel or what they're doing and what I'm doing in my channel, I always go right to the first thing. It doesn't matter how you start, it's when you start. And it doesn't matter what your future goal is, because that's going to change. You're going to change. And if you don't be flexible, you're not going to succeed. And that's how we started. My wife and I, Anna, we started Two Pineapples. And here on Hawaii Island, we live on the slope of Kilauea on the big island of Hawaii. And we just set out to film some of the beauty of the islands. That was pretty much what we were going to do. Whether it was the ocean, whether it was the waterfalls, things like that. Yeah. And it just evolved. We saw opportunity. We saw the volcano erupt, and we thought that would be good content. Yeah. And we moved from shooting the ocean to shooting the lava. And seeing the opportunities in front of me, I just kept grabbing the one right after the other. So this was not an intentional build. This was the product of being flexible.
I think it's important for everybody to be able to pivot. We have ideas about what we might do when we start YouTube, but the audience helps, the algorithm helps, the numbers that we get. So if somebody hadn't seen your channel before just as a viewer, how would you describe it then?
I would describe our channel as an educational and responsible community of people around the globe that are interested in the beauty, the awe of any type of landscape, whether it's the lava. We did several months in South America, the cinematic scenery of the mountains and the people. Those that are interested in just a good place to hang out, have normal conversations, and learn about things. This is kind of what we've evolved to become.
That's wonderful. So hopefully everybody will visit. Of course, subscribe, put that notification bell on for Two Pineapples. So you started by filming around Hawaii, living there, which I haven't been, but I understand now from your content, it's a gorgeous, an abundant amount of gorgeous areas. But you took a trip, like you had mentioned, to South America. And I'm curious more so about the content that you were able to capture than the vacation itself, if you want to call it a vacation. It seemed like a working trip for you. How did that affect the mix of what you were typically doing on the channel, adding something new in?
Yeah, that trip was set up as a business trip for us, and it was designed to help our channel grow. That's what that trip was planned around. Mm-hmm. While we were there, we discovered several things. We're not very good travel vloggers, and that is a very special niche. And that takes a special individual or group of people. We're just not those people. We also discovered that because our niche is so algorithm heavy in the lava volcano geology community, that it didn't matter whether I was eating grubs living in the Amazon for a month. Mm-hmm. There was nobody that was going to watch it, because YouTube knew that our people primarily only watched the lava. So it didn't click into the algorithm as great as we thought. So as we went through this trip, of course, we kept filming, mm-hmm. but we didn't produce films while we were there, and began to enjoy our trip mm-hmm. more so than just thinking it as a work trip. And what we did is we ended up leaving there with about 150 gigabytes of film mm-hmm. that we still use today. and put it out in pieces, but the views aren't always there for us. They're probably 10 or 15% of our normal viewing, because we're known as live pretty much all the time, live, and volcano people, geology people. So the YouTube algorithm is smart. It knows what your niche is, and diverting, it showed us right there, maybe you should stick to what you know.
That's really insightful. So thank you so much for being so candid about that, because this is the kind of information I think that can be extremely helpful.
Yeah, once you find your niche, I'm not saying you should never change it, but pivoting at that point, you'll see the numbers dip. You really will. And even if your views are typically 500 or 700 or 300 on a video, then all of a sudden you change and do something completely different than what you used to do, and you see 92, 94, you know you're not in that algorithm mix, even if your regular people aren't even watching. And that's where we found even our regular people never got the notifications to know that we were putting out those videos.
That makes sense as well. Yeah, notifications have always been an issue for all of us.
Yeah, when it comes to notifications, I like to remind everybody that's doing this that do not rely solely on your community tab. You need to be active in that community tab. YouTube loves it. But if you have other things, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, we go ahead every time we launch a video, we have 5 different outlets that we're reaching. We're dropping that link everywhere to try to bring in anybody that might miss it.
So thank you for that. I noticed that you mentioned other social networks, specifically Discord, right? But I'm just curious, one of the things I wanted to ask you today is, where do you find success for your channel on the outside social networks? Where are your favorites, or where do you see the best engagement?
So you have to come up with what your definition of success is first. Is your success monetarily, or is your success interaction? Are you successful by how many clicks you get, or is it just a combination? You know, that's where you have to pick each platform and decide what you're going after. For us, our most successful second platform is Discord, because we are an interactive community in our YouTube family as well as globally. The Discord gives us the opportunity to allow everybody to interact with us more so than a chat stream during a live video. Mm-hmm. So for us, we grew our Discord fast, and it's a great channel. There's several in there, and it's everything in there that we want, not just the volcano and the geology, the volcanology that's out there, but we're able to put in during the holidays to show your decorations. What do you like to cook? Show us your pet. Mm-hmm. So it brings more of a family together like that. So for us, it's Discord. The others we just use to pretty much drop links, give basic updates, and don't invest much time in them.
It's interesting that you say that. I expect to actually take a page out of your book and become more active on Discord to give it a try. So thank you for that.
It's free. Discord is free. It's a little tricky to set up and keep organized, especially when you get to our level, because there's hundreds of people chatting all the time in there. Mm-hmm. But if you keep it simple and set up some ground rules, it's a fun place for everybody to interact and really get to know your community and what they're looking for you to film and present later.
That's great that you can get feedback, especially from the audience.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we look for. We can't go out and just shoot randomly any longer. The time, the money investment, it is just undoable these days. At this level, we just can't invest that $500 or $1,000 to go shoot somewhere, and then the work that's involved afterwards, which is 3 to 5 days to put something together minimum, and then don't get the return on investment. When you've invested like we have into this is a business. YouTube is a business for us. We have to approach every step like a business. So having Discord gives us a better opportunity to listen to our community over a live stream, because you're never going to catch what what everybody wants in a live stream.
It makes sense what you say. And this, again, is really insightful, because I often will say there's bigger fish to fry, if we want to put it that way, when somebody crosses that 10,000 mark, and you're well beyond that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me give you an example that everybody wanted me to get out on the water and film on the water, because we have whales and we have dolphins, and the aquatic life here, the coral reefs, is just phenomenal. So I invested in a small underwater sub, like a drone, but an underwater drone. And I was able to get a sponsor for 3 months to shoot off of that boat for 3 months, unlimited, as much as I wanted. Right. And they were paying me to be able to go out there and do this, but I wasn't making enough money back on the videos and the time, the work, the salt water on the gear. Yeah. And when it was said and done, all the people, and this was listening to people on the live stream versus the content they wanted on Discord, by the time it was said and done, that the work, the 2 days of being out there, sleeping in the van at the harbor, to get on the boat at 7, be on the water all day, come home after 2 days wrecked and burned, put together a video, and to get 500 views was exhausting. We're like, we should have put more time and thought into this one. It was fun, and I actually was able to have 4 live cameras on a boat with an underwater live cameras, a camera going on that drone to follow the manta rays. It's a phenomenal feat for a very small YouTuber with not a massive amount of income. It was beautiful, and if I could have spent more time, probably would have got better, but I wasn't willing to invest the money to do that.
Everything costs time and money, and that's absolutely the case. So because we're usually dealing with people in the early stages of their YouTube journey, then the idea is always you got to start filming with what you have. You don't have to buy equipment and things like that. But you're bringing up great points, because when it's time to think about investing in equipment upgrades, you have to weigh the idea against the return you're truly expecting from video. So my suggestion would be to try everything you can before making those investments for as long as you can stand, because you're going to be very sorry buying any piece of equipment for $5,000 and waiting it out for that to ever pay itself over a lifetime.
Because it's not. It just won't. And we had a strict rule in the business design, because I'd owned a business for 20 years. We set up YouTube as a business, and we had a strategy in place. And one of those strategies was we didn't invest in new equipment until that 21st of the month YouTube check came in, and there was money in there to buy that next piece of equipment. In this studio is a lot of expensive equipment, and we have grown to be able to get that equipment. But right now, I'm on a Logitech USB camera. This has been with me for 4 years. This is my old original computer I've had for, I guess, almost 4 years. Yeah. You know, it doesn't take a lot. We went through 2 cell phones burning up, just long hours of filming. And today's the S23 that I have, that shoots just as good as our A7 sometimes. Right. It's pretty amazing. And I would always encourage everybody, go used if you have to first. And go small, because today is a different world of YouTube. It's not about how great of a B-roll can you throw in anymore. It's not how great of a cinematic shot can you put in there. It's about who you are and how people relate to you more than any equipment that you have. And when you show up all of a sudden as a brand new YouTuber with an A7 $5,000 camera and another $3,000 lens, and you got the Rode mics hooked up and you're bouncing all over the place, you're not in a relatable position with your viewers any longer, because the majority of your viewers don't make $150,000, $200,000 a year. They're just like the rest of us, paycheck to paycheck some months. So think about your user or your viewers, because they can understand you.
It's interesting the way you put that. So I definitely believe in money spent in the right places. Eventually things break, we do have to upgrade. So that's a key, but it's interesting how you put that. So I hope everybody finds that as helpful as I think it must, be to hear.
Thanks. I'm not saying that I don't have great equipment, because if I look over to this side of the room, it's a whole different story. And if you look behind me, this picture that's behind me, this is a multi-cam live stream from the summit of Kilauea, which is an erupting volcano. It takes some serious equipment to do this at this level. But we only started with a cell phone. And then I got crazy one day and I said, can't I hook a camera to my cell phone and do 2 cameras? And then, well, if I can do 2, I can do 4. Yeah. If I can do good camera work, can't I do audio? Of course. So piece by piece by piece. And it grew from there. But I only started on a cell phone.
I'll be interested to see the equipment you continue with on your road towards 100,000.
Yeah, it's going to, this year will be another modification in equipment. This year is about internet bonding so that we have strong signals. We have, it's also about the satellite connection that we're working with now. It's about longevity and battery, because when we do a live stream, we are up there for 5 or 7 hours continuously.
Yes.
And it's about how much juice. Sometimes it comes down to how much juice we have is how long we can stay.
Yeah.
And when we're at that 7-hour mark and people want us to say, and we have 3,000 people in the live stream still watching, super chatting, hanging out, subscribing nonstop, it is hard to say, I'm sorry, we have to go because the battery is dead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that you say that. So thank you for letting us know these things. I have one thing in particular, because I know people will be interested to know what you use for internet while you're out there, because you're in such a remote area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we, just like everybody else, we have cell phone towers. They're few and far between here. And we have a Verizon cell phone. We do have a bonding availability that we use, so we'll have multiple SIMs. Okay. If we can tie into a Wi-Fi connection, which sometimes we can, we'll go Wi-Fi and bond with the SIM card, kind of stabilizes some things. But overall, we're dependent on that cell phone tower. And when there's thousands of people around and it gets throttled, so do we. So learning how to adjust the stream is important. And that's one of the things that I learned way back prior to the eruption. Up at the eruption zone, this particular one, we have fairly good service. Mm-hmm. If we branch outside of there, we have no cell signal.
Right.
So it has been a goal of ours to get onto a Starlink system so that we can stream anywhere on the island. If you truly want to grow your channel, you have to spend some time thinking about where you can go and do a live stream. Live streaming is, without a doubt, the best way to grow your channel.
It's interesting that you put it that way, because I'll often say that videos drive a channel, but live streams can certainly help growth in several different ways.
Yeah, because if I can sit there and chat with somebody that's live in the live stream for an hour and build a friendship, there's a great chance they're coming back with another friend.
That's right.
There's a good chance of that.
It's interesting to hear from a channel of your size where you're still talking about this, still talking about the fundamentals. So I'm really happy about that, because I think that's something that anybody starting their YouTube journey needs to hear. Connecting with the audience is going to be a big, big deal for you.
It is. And to the right of me, I have a chat stream from my 247 that's running, that we monitor the volcano 24 hours a day. And that chat stream runs day and night. And I can see the chat moving out of the corner of my eye. Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that, because when I'm working, I can jump in at any time, turn the camera on, or just turn into the chat and type, and continually show my appreciation to them for being there, chat about day-to-day things, continually building on the friendship and the loyalty that they have. with me.
It's interesting that you say that as well. So now that you've talked about it, for anybody that's not already familiar with your channel, Two Pineapples does a 24-hour live stream, not virtual like people have heard me talk about before, where they break every 12 hours or anything like that. So how has that 24-hour live stream done for your channel, would you say?
That was an evolution in itself. At the time we started it, I was under 1,000 subscribers. We were brand new. We had an eruption and we had no 24-hour live stream going. We were just like everybody else, starting a channel, shooting video and uploading and hoping for the best. The eruption happened and I do not know where I saw it, how it came to my brain, I dreamt it, I don't know, because I've never been one to spend a lot of time on YouTube prior to becoming a YouTuber. And I came home and did some homework real quick to be able to pull all of the USGS, all of the cameras that were available, and provide that 24 hours from the house and start growing the channel. It just came to me. I do not remember the revelation that I had at that moment. It just happened. It happened.
Likely was a collection of a few things all together.
Probably. Yeah.
And so how was it for you? We talk all the time. We've had a friendship now where we've talked about some of the things I'm going to ask you about here, but running that 24-hour stream, what if somebody aspired to do that, what can you give them as a couple of tips so that they can avoid a couple of the mistakes that some of us have gone through with our live streaming?
Yeah. So the biggest one is be yourself. And when I say that, I apply that to myself as well. And when I was setting up our channel, I took a look to see who else was doing this type of thing. Then wipe the board clean. Like, I'm not going to just blend in with everybody. I'm going to stand out. So what I did was, first thing I did was got an Artlist account and an Epidemic Sound account and started downloading music. Now there's free music out there and I used a bunch of it because right now I have about 600 songs in my set list. The music plays nonstop. Most of it's pretty good. Most of it's really good. But that was my edge at that point. I needed something to hold people in, and the music drew them in. And then it was about what everybody else couldn't do. They couldn't put live spectrograms up. They couldn't put a live earthquake graph up. I kept looking for things. I looked at the channels that I was in line with and what they needed. And that's how I built mine. So don't go in and create the same channel as what somebody else has, because you're never going to get, they already have their community. Pulling in their community is extremely difficult. And I'm going to give you a little tip on how to build your community when you have hundreds, if not thousands of other people out there doing the same exact channel as you. You need to contact those other channels in a very friendly way. Reach out to them with something that you can provide them. For example, we were the only ones at the time. Even the government cameras did not have a live stream of the volcano erupting. They only had still shots that came up every 5 minutes. We would be up there for 5 hours or more. I contacted the biggest volcano channels that were putting out live streams on YouTube. Reached out to them. Hey, I'm Lou at Two Pineapples. I'm going to be up at the volcano live streaming for 5 hours. You can tap into the stream and put it on your channel if you want.
Wow.
That over and over and over. And I built that whole plan when I was in Colombia. It was a great time of reflection when I was in South America filming for 4 months. It wasn't me filming to put up YouTube videos. I think it was more for me to brainstorm and get this all together. And when I touched ground here back in Hawaii and started reaching out to everybody, well, they jumped on it quick. And we saw our numbers go from right around 4,000 to 10,000 in a blink of an eye. Because everybody in those communities they saw for 2 months, I was giving them our stream for free. They didn't have to come over to Two Pineapples.
Yes.
They didn't have to, but they did. And when the eruption stream ended on my end, we would see them pop in periodically all the time, and they were subscribing over and over and over.
That's wonderful. So that's a collaboration of sorts, but it's great that you had the foresight to go and approach the other channels with generosity, olive branch in hand, saying, hey, I have something for you. And then the friendship starts in that way, as opposed to knocking on the door and saying, you say have something I can use, right. Can I be your friend so I can start using your stuff? So it's a really interesting way that you put that. And I often speak of collaborating in different ways as being a great starter for growing a channel.
You can't grow on your own. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're lucky, maybe you just have that one reaction video, but that might be it. You need help. I needed help. I was not too proud. I do not have an ego that said, "Oh, I'm the only one filming this lava. I'm not letting anybody get it. They're going to watch my channel." Well, they're not. You need to get out there. I needed to get out there, and I tell you, I have some of those bigger channels. These guys are millionaires. They have big time numbers, and we are still friends today. We chat just like you and I, Kevin, talk.
Yes.
And they are so appreciative for what I did for them, and they didn't even really need it. They just saw the generosity. I never asked them for anything. They just provided. It was great. It was a great collaboration, and I still do that today. And that's how I got to where I'm at now, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later.
For almost everybody that I connect to on YouTube, monetization is going to be on their minds in some form, whether it's through their YouTube channel, the business behind it, or any other project that they've got in mind. So what can you tell us, in your experience, on your way towards the first 10,000 and beyond, about monetization, what it's meant for you and meant for your channel?
Monetization is a tricky one for me now, because I look at one of the biggest volcano channels out there. He never monetized this channel, and sometimes I think I should have taken that road. There's a thought that monetization puts you better in the algorithm. It's possible. But he never had a problem with it.
Right.
I think good quality streaming had a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. What I see with monetization is it's not the only way to get revenue in your stream. Yes, the super chats are great, but with all the different things that are available now, meaning you can get tips from Stream Elements or Streamlabs. You can you just drop a PayPal link in there. You can automate it with a bot, and you get the 100% versus the 70%. So if you're looking at YouTube like I do as a business, I think about those things sometimes and wonder what road is right, and did I take the right road? I also look at YouTube as not a way for me to make the most amount of money in my life. And I'm sure that a lot of everybody, a lot of you have looked at the videos that are out there, all the different ways to make money on YouTube, whether it's a lot of it is get a sponsor, get a product that you can sponsor and get an affiliate link for, all the Amazon stuff. That's important. And we have all that, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But those are nickels. Those are just nickels. They don't always fill the tank up in the van. Yeah. So I started, when I was in the collaboration of all these other channels, I started honing in on the local scientists here and geologists here. Okay. And built a collaboration friendship with them, where now I was starting to produce content solely for the community of Hawaii and their global community in the volcanology geology world, and took the step to get hired by them. So mm-hmm. YouTube became just the platform for me to jump off of into the next realm. And Corinne's Life, which I have started on Tuber Chat, she was there, and I always think about her as a good example. She has a good channel and does a lot of different things. But if you look at it from standing back, look at where she probably has her best investment, and that is the business that she built from YouTube. She's doing shirts, she's doing buttons, she has a product to sell. There we go, right there, coffee cups, in addition to the very minimal money we make on ad revenue.
Right.
And those that hang out with you the longest in your chat, the family, you feel it hits your heart when they drop a super chat, because you know they super chat all the time, and you don't want to always have to super chat.
Yes.
When you're with somebody for 3-4 years, it's like, I appreciate the $50 or the $20 or the $5, but I'm beginning to feel bad that you always have to do that. That I'm like, you donate now to keep us alive, to keep the stream running.
Yes.
So building a business from the YouTube channel is very important. Find something, and there's so many things that are easy to do. And if you have a product, you'll make just as much money or more than the ad revenues and the super chat that's coming in. For me, as my example, is with the organization that's here, they hired me as an executive manager. I have a career that I just picked up from doing a YouTube channel, where my family will have no problems putting gas in the tank for a while or food on the table.
Yes, it's interesting that you say that. And, my intention is to talk to you about your experience, but I can add in that the way that YouTube started for me and continues today is that half of my full-time income comes from doing either YouTube or other social media work for others. So there's thought in there as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah, never miss an opportunity, and start before you're ready. Those are all kind of cliche phrases that we often hear and we use. I use them with Kevin all the time.
Yeah.
And because Kevin and I are always on the forefront of things, we're always talking about what we're doing next year or 2 years from now.
Yes.
And it's the start before you're ready scenario for us all the time. And it doesn't matter if you start off selling a coffee mug today. Who knows, by next year you could be selling, I don't know, a swimming pool. Who knows?
Yeah. One of the biggest things that people are always going to be asking, especially in the Tuber Chat audience or to myself, is how do we gain more subscribers? You're sitting around the 19,000 mark. You've passed it now, but that's where we are at the day of this recording. So what can you tell us as far as advice and tips and tricks for how to grow subscribers strong, solid, and hopefully quickly?
It's tough. Like I said before, that YouTube is completely different today than it was before. We used to be able to gain 1,000 subscribers a week at one point, and now we struggle for 13 or 15 in a week. I think the biggest opportunity you have is in a live stream that runs longer than an hour, that allows people to really get to know you and bring in their friends. When you can build a friendship and a family within the community, and YouTube sees that they are always coming back, they're always coming into your videos, they're bringing in new people, that's going to help you grow. You're going to grow a lot slower today than you ever did. Now, live events, meaning something that's going on within your community, like us is the volcano erupting, or a storm for us is also extremely big, and that does bring in new viewers. But the purging is also part of that. When you do these live events, you'll see your numbers go up 300 or 500 to 1,000. But over the next month, you'll see that decrease. YouTube will purge those numbers because they're no longer watching us just chit chat about our daily life. They're going to pull it. Patience. And having that product to sell, to sustain your lifestyle, your availability to be able to do the videos and the content and stay afloat in between these phases is the only way to grow and to get those numbers. And don't be so locked on the numbers any longer. There are channels out there. I'm at over 19,000. There's channels over there with 3,000 subscribers that have far bigger audiences than I do. And we have 7,000, 8,000 sometimes on a live stream. And I've seen them with bigger audiences. So it's not always how many subscribers you have any longer. Of course it helps, but get out there and do it. It'll grow.
Yes. That's really insightful. And then do you have anything else that you can tell us about subscribers specifically?
Yes. So honestly, the biggest way that we grew was the collaborations with other channels that did similar type videos that we do, and providing them something. Video content was what we gave them. You can come up with whatever you have. Maybe it's your location. Maybe it's if you found, let's just say you're a trail walker and you're in Arkansas and you hike trails. Well, maybe there's a geology channel that's out of North Carolina that's interested in some types of rocks that are on your trails. You could always shoot video for other geology YouTube channels out there and provide them content of specific rocks. One of the channels that we use is a huge channel. He's out of Arizona. He is a geology professor, and we get specific calls from him to go out and shoot different types of rocks here. So as an example, that's how you could grow your channel, because his channel has hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Yes.
And he puts all of it, when he shows our video, he's always putting our logo on there. We're in his description. Those people are coming over into our community.
Wonderful. It's a non-traditional type of collaboration, different from what we usually talk about. So thank you for that. One of the things that any creator starting their YouTube journey is going to ask about is how can they increase their views on their videos, live streams, and shorts. So what can you tell us in your YouTube journey that we can use when we're striving to get to your level?
Pray. No, I'm kidding. I mean, yeah, you need a little bit of faith when you put out your video. Honestly, it is about how many videos you're putting out. If you put out a video and it gets 90 views today, and you put out another video in 2 days and it gets 94 views, and you put out a video in 3 days after that and you're up to 115, if you stay consistent on putting out videos, whether it's every 2 days or 3 days or weekly, I suggest at a small channel to go a little bit more than weekly.
Okay.
When you put out those videos consistently, you're going to get the more views because the algorithm loves you. The algorithm wants you to be active. If you are dormant for a month, you will feel it. Absolutely. You'll look over there on your studio and you're going to see your views in a 24-hour period. Maybe for us, we'll see go from 7,500 in a 48-hour period down to 3,600. Wow. And it's a huge difference in a 48-hour period. So be consistent. Your views will come. The more videos you have, the more views you can get. And remember, if you put out 3 videos at 100 views a video, that's 300 for the week versus 1 video of only 100 for the week.
Makes sense, yes. So another thing that is going to be a curious idea, some of the engagement that we get on our videos outside of our subscribers and our views, particularly likes, those thumbs up that we talk about all the time. What tips can you give us about how to get more thumbs up on our video shorts and streams?
That's huge. That is probably one of my top 5 focus points when I'm live or putting out a video. Because I think that the likes they're more important than a lot of other elements in the whole production and presentation of your video. And encouraging people subtly several times through your video. If your video is over 8 minutes long, or at least 8 minutes long, it should be in there at least 3 times. Okay. Not hiding your thumbs up. Making sure that those are visible. I know YouTube has made that available today, but people need to see how many you have, because that is a way down in your comments you can make and pin it. Let's try to get this up to 100 thumbs up.
Right.
And that encourages people to hit it. It's a reminder. I forget sometimes. Kevin and I, we way back when, I remember we talked about an add-on in the Chrome browser that automatically thumbed up for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We forget way back when, right? Because we do. We just forget. We're all human. So encouraging
anybody.
Yeah. We got to encourage our audience to remember to hit the thumbs up. It is valuable in the YouTube world.
Okay, so thank you for that. We're going to make sure that we're always reminding everybody, maybe a little bit more now. One of the other pieces of engagements that is extremely important in the algorithm is comments. And what can you tell us about how to get true engagement out of the comments that are going to come either from our live streams after they're finished, the videos that we post, or the shorts that we're going to produce?
So 2 ways to approach comments. If you have, for example, if you have 1,000 comments below a video versus 100 comments below a video, replying to comments is important, and commenting on other people's videos is important. And how you do that will decide how your channel grows. If you come in telling people that you came in from somewhere else, you've already lost. You've lost me. I probably won't read the third or fourth sentence. Yes. Not because I don't like where you came in from or where you learned about us from, but I have 600 more comments to go through.
Yes.
So watch the video and give me a comment on the video. And it doesn't have to be long or drawn out. Something that gives me as the producer, the content creator, a reason to comment on it. And that's huge. And I always love a good emoji. I do. Because it catches my eye. There's videos I have that have 100 comments on there, and for me that's at 19,000 subscribers, that's not a big deal. When we get up to a live stream, 11 days, 12 days, we live stream for 5 or plus hours a day. At the end of that 2 weeks, we look back and we have thousands of comments to go through, and we try hard to go through every comment. We really do. But I scroll. My first run is I'm a scroller, and I look for emojis. And those are the ones I think, well, if you put an emoji in there, you're probably in a happy mood. I'm going to start with you because this is going to be a long road. So commenting and replying to comments is crucial to your video.
And how can we convince people while they're watching the content then to comment more? What tip can you give us to get more comments out of the viewership?
Right. So I watched a lot of the biggest channels out there, and they're not just YouTube content creators. They're actually professionals in journalism and in broadcasting. And I watched them to see how they took a career of being a journalist and a broadcaster and applied it to YouTube. And one of them I saw is every time they had a live stream going on, multiple times through that live stream, they presented the online viewer a question. And with that question came a fancy little moving GIF or just a PNG that popped up on the screen that said, comment below.
Right.
And then they moved on. As a reminder, just like your subscribe and like button comes up, that comes up every time a question is asked from me. I'll put the comment below on there. Mine actually shakes like an earthquake. It's kind of just like hey, he says comment. I'm going to comment since I'm right here. Yes. And people do. And you'll find in a massive amount of comments, you're going to see like chapters in a book. Well, there was that part of the show. There was that part of the show. And there was that part of the show. So I think that's the most effective way that we found to get people to interact in the comments.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So one more piece of engagement that we have yet to talk about is the idea of getting people to share our videos out, specifically on the community tab. And of course, we can talk about other social networks and things like that. But what I want to ask particularly is what tip can you give us or ideas for how to get more people to share our content more often?
Well, when you bring that up, I like to use the kind of the analogy of outside the box. And when I say I'm outside the box, I'm standing outside the box on this one. I just don't tell people to share on their social media platforms. I tell them, grab the link, text it to 5 of your friends, send it to your mom, send it on Telegram, put it on WhatsApp, grab the link on your cell phone and message it to people. Don't just rely on the social media, because not everybody has multiple social media accounts. Most people might just have YouTube. They don't have Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any of the others.
Yes.
So that was my way of, like, people like, oh yeah, and it works. They will copy and paste that link of what you're doing and text it to 5 people. Guaranteed they will.
Wonderful. It's great that you find so much engagement out of it, and being as simple as asking, not being shy, going ahead and asking. I feel that the audience will, as your channel grows, get behind you and actually want to see you succeed.
Yeah, they will. Your family, and that's what the YouTube community becomes, your family. They want you to succeed because they like you, they like what you provide, and they don't want you to go anywhere. So they're going to do things for you all the time. All you have to do is ask. We have to ask. Remember, nobody's paying us to do YouTube at the time we start.
Yes.
Right? So if we can't keep afloat, if we don't keep putting food on the table and grow our channel, we're done. And our family does not want to see that happen.
We've had a friendship that's gone on beyond 3 years now. I think we're actually getting a lot closer to 4. And I appreciate your friendship, Lou, of course. But I remember very clearly, I won't forget this, a conversation that we had. You were talking to me about how to grow over the course of all this time. And you mentioned the idea of coming into live streams in the chat, hanging out and having true conversation with people so that you can really get to know people and get known as well.
Yeah, that was way back. Looking back, I went from 0 to 1,000 to 4,000 overnight. And the 0 to, I think it was 82, was a completely different crowd than the 3,000 to 4,000 crowd.
Right.
And in the live stream, the people that are in when you're at 4,000 subscribers aren't the people that you started with.
Okay.
And coming into a live stream, especially a live stream like mine, it's important to recognize the situation. There's a very good chance everybody knows that you're going to have a channel. You don't have to tell them. They can click on your name and look it up. There's a pretty good chance that everybody is going to welcome you if you come in with just a hello. For us, it's an aloha, but just a hello. How are things going? I had a double cheeseburger today, and start or jump into a conversation like that. Instead of just coming in and self-promoting or telling people another channel that you came from, or instinctively trying to drop a link because you're desperate to grow your channel. You'll grow if there's 3 people in that live stream and you sit with them for 30 minutes and just talk about what you did the last weekend, there's a good chance you're going to get into the conversation that you have a channel, or they're already looking at your channel and will bring it up, and you'll get a subscriber without even trying. Less is more in a live stream. Blasting and marketing yourself in another person's live stream get you nowhere. And my live stream is loaded with moderators and tools. I have a team. I have a Monday meeting. Every Monday, a meeting with all my moderators. I have 11 of them. They all do different things. One is engaged in community safety and preparation. One is involved in making sure my content and links get out. Another one is in safety and security. Another one is just a meet and greeter. Everybody has a role to play So coming into a live stream like mine, and I'm not the only one, coming into a live stream like mine and just blasting where you're from, as where you came from as another channel, or self-promoting, it won't last. So be friendly. I mean, it's a good spot to just say, hey, I went to the river last week and went fishing. It's a great spot to be able to do that. You'll make more friends that way faster.
You mentioned the idea of moderators, and I know through our friendship and our conversations that you've taken that idea extremely seriously, as you know that I do as well. What can you tell somebody in the start of their YouTube journey when they're thinking about picking moderators for their channels?
Be considerate. They work for free. Get a moderator that doesn't necessarily want to be in your channel all the time, just wants to be there part-time, and find 4 of those. That way you don't put the whole load on their shoulders. I rely on a couple of my moderators to call me in my house at 2 o'clock in the morning if I missed an eruption. That's a lot of load for somebody that only gets a gift card once in a while from me, or a basket of goodies. So spread it out a little bit. And when I say I have a moderation meeting, I have a moderator program actually, where I take them through different steps now on how to moderate the channel, what their response is for things, so that they don't have to get creative and just automatically block somebody, or automatically put out what do I type in when they ask this. So educating your moderators, spending time with them is important, whether it's through Instagram, or like I use Discord because I can communicate with video there. I do live streams with the moderators, and they can go through everything with me. It's important. And a good moderated channel is more about having the mod sit in the back and just let it flow, instead of just being over dramatic inside there.
Yes. It's interesting that you put it that way. Part of the fan funding that comes along with monetization on YouTube includes things like super chats, super stickers, and super thanks. So what can you tell us in your experience that will help somebody starting with monetization to increase the number of super chats, super stickers, and super thanks specifically that come through their channel, if that's what they're aiming for?
Similar to the thumbs up and the comments, ask, explain the situation during the live stream. If it's a video, and encourage them by telling them you're trying to grow and you're trying to invest in the next piece of technology or something that they'll see in an upcoming video that you're going to produce. Now you have to stick to the word there. You can't just say donate and not do it.
Yes.
Once you do it, once you put it out there, hey guys, I'm going to go up and I'm going to film at this point here and spend the day and take some great video, but I can't do it without a new GoPro. Let's all see if we can pitch in. I'd really appreciate if anybody's got a buck, throw it out there. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll be able to go out and film out in this location and many more after that with just a little bit. Something similar to that. I'm just coming right off the cuff, obviously. But asking. It doesn't hurt to ask. If they don't want or they can't, they won't. It's just the way it is.
Right. Yeah, there's ways for us to describe it without being aggressive, if we want to put it that way. Yes, absolutely. Right. So thank you for that. One of the things that comes along with monetization on YouTube that used to require 30,000 subscribers is memberships, and that's open to everybody that gets monetized after 500 subscribers now, or just about everybody. So one of the things that creators will ask is, how can they increase the number of memberships over time on their channel? What advice would you give to somebody to increase the number of members and watch that grow, if that's something that's on their mind?
Yo, you better get your pencil out for this one. I take this part very seriously in my membership. Our membership is $1.99. It's low. Okay. And I did that intentionally. I don't have any other tiers. I have one tier. It's $1.99. It's the fun zone, basically. We have, I don't know, 24 emojis available, and everybody gets a new banner or a new badge. And it's creative and it's evolving all the time. I change those out consistently. Sometimes during the holidays is a good example. I changed out almost every single one of those emojis for members. I must have picked up, and I think we're right around 600 members. I think we probably picked up an extra 100 because once Halloween came, everything changed throughout the entire holiday season. We're about to hit Easter, and I'm doing it again. So showing your members that you're changing, people love new things. They love it when it's new. And that's a simple thing that you can do. It's all free, whether you use Pexels or you use an AI generator, Midjourney. You can create all that so fast and so easy. It probably takes me to do, I see 24 up there. So I think it takes me maybe 2 hours to do every single one of those.
Right. Yeah.
And now you have a fresh palette all the way around.
That's a wonderful idea. So much so I'm holding myself back from laughing because I expect to take a page out of your book and probably do that on at least the Tuber Chat channel. So thank you for that.
In encouraging everybody to join your membership program, or not so much encouraging, reminding them that you have a membership program. And as soon as you do that, everybody in your channel that's a member will start dropping those special emojis. Now, I tweak it a little bit too because I have the floating emotes. When we are in a non-emergency or eruptive time where we can take a breath and it's a little bit more relaxed, I have some pages, my live streams. When you do the emojis, they float all over the screen for fun. And then you see at a large customized emoji that you can only get by being a member, $1.99 is not too far off. People love it.
Wow, that's gold. Thank you for this. So when I look at your channel today, sitting around that 19,000 subscriber mark and a little bit beyond, I also look at your shorts and I see you've had great success getting many of them into thousands of views, one of them at 48,000, which is impressive. So what I want to ask you is, what can you tell somebody who's starting their YouTube journey about shorts, whether or not they've started producing them? What would you suggest so that they can have the best chance to make their shorts fly the way some of yours have?
Right. Well, don't have unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, because you put out a short and you hear everybody say it's the fastest way to grow your channel, it's true. But if you've already started your channel in one way, the shorts community is a different viewer. So they're not going to always intermingle. Right. The 48,000 that you saw that's on one of those shorts, I don't know what the subscriber count is, but I think I gained 600 subscribers from that. Okay. It could be a little off, but it's probably right around there. It's been a while since I've checked that. But those are not my long form viewers. They probably never came over to watch my long form.
It's possible.
But here's the deal. You can have super success with no effort, really. If you create long form video and you film it, your live stream or your long form video, if you frame it so that you can clip out that short, you have 2 videos instantly. And if you can Monday put out that long form and on Wednesday put out that short form, and you match that up every single week, you are just banging on videos quick, and they will grow together a little bit. They're just going to be 2 kind of different communities. Don't expect the people that watch your shorts to be in your live streams. It's pretty rare. It's just like that. But the algorithm, it's like your birthday all of a sudden when you start doing something like that. And it's so easy now, whether you use CapCut, which is free, or you use Canva. I mean, just do it on your phone. I mean, there's so many free apps available to go from your long form to your short form. And I think even YouTube has it built into their app now to be able
For
to
Android,
do it.
yes.
Yeah. We don't spend a lot of time on shorts unless we're trying to get something incredible out instantly. That's where we do it. If I happen to be up at the volcano and it's day one of the eruption, I'm on it. I'll get something out there. But other than that, I don't have a lot of time to invest in it. I think it's great. I'm a shorts watcher. I sit here even on my computer and I'll watch shorts while I'm letting something render and working.
Interesting.
I do watch them. I like them. There's a lot of information out there, and people are fixated on 8-second, 12-second videos. Put them out there.
It's interesting what you say. So repurposing the content is something that's a great idea. If somebody was to imagine, you can even look at our screen right now. It's very easy for me to chop out a section where Lou is talking, and you can see that that would fit inside a shorts type of frame. So warning for everybody, I might just do that as a matter of fact, but that's a great tip. So thank you for that. Another wonderful aspect of monetization on YouTube is the idea that they have a giving feature, and that unlocks when somebody has the 10,000 subscribers. Obviously, you're long past that now, and I've seen it in your 24-hour live stream. So what can you tell us about your experience with YouTube giving?
We love it. Right now we're running the fundraiser through our live stream. With that, you don't get super chats any longer. Everything goes straight to the nonprofit organization that you have set up. Ours goes to the Hawaiian Volcano Education and Resilience Institute here on Hawaii Island. And it was our goal by building this live stream for our community, so they have accurate information all the time and what's going on with the local volcanoes that are here. By us donating 100% of the money that comes through, we know that the organization that we're donating to can also provide support for us, right? And that's a collaboration there. So we're still building our channel, maybe not financially right there. Those that want to support us, they know the other ways to support us financially. But we love it. We love that YouTube picks up 100% of the fees, that the nonprofit gets 100% of the proceeds of the fundraiser. But I will say there's a little something in there that you may not know. Tracking is difficult. Okay. If you understand anything about business, stewardship is important. And what stewardship is, even if somebody gives you a super chat on your channel, you should always be thanking them as soon as you see it, or at least commenting later to thank them. That is stewardship, just providing a thank you. On the fundraiser, it's not as easy, especially on a 24-hour, or when you have thousands of people rolling through, you're going to miss it. Yeah. So you have to pay attention, go back into some Nightbot logs and track it down so that you can give the thank yous that need to go out there to the community that donated to you. But I love it. I don't know if there's a huge algorithm boost because of it. We seem to stay pretty much steady at 4,000 the last 48 hours, 5,000 the last 48 hours. Pretty standard anyway. But it's a wonderful thing that YouTube does. And if you can do it for anything, I encourage you to support a local nonprofit. It's what helps. So
thank you for that. I aspire to unlock it. It's a goal that I have personally, and I'm so happy to see that you're using it. But thank you for that tip, because it's great to know these things in advance. Somebody like me, I like to track everything. It's great for all of us to know that we're going to have to take some extra steps and prepare for it now, so that when we unlock YouTube Giving with 10,000 subscribers, we can stay on top of everything. So thank you for that. Thanking people for their contributions of any kind absolutely is key. Thank you for that idea.
That also brings me back to when I just mentioned it as well, the collaboration. Okay. If you find an event that you want to cover a live stream or a video about, and you find a local nonprofit that you can access their information on YouTube in the giving area, and you go out to their nonprofit, call them, set up a time to go out and talk to them and tell them what they're doing, that is a major collaboration. That is a building that is probably full of people that helps thousands of people.
Yes.
And that will grow your channel. They will see that you're giving to the community. Yes, there are times you're not going to make any money, but it's not always about money. It's about growing your channel to make money. There's some steps involved.
Absolutely. So thank you for that as well. So Lou, thank you again for being here and sharing the stories of your ongoing success with your channel. I want to ask you if there's any additional advice that you can give to somebody in the beginnings of their YouTube journey that we haven't already talked about.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I got to say, thank you, Kevin, because that's where I really started. I mean, I had 33 subscribers and found Tuber Chat, and I started there, and it's what got me here. And there's a lot obviously, if you've been listening the whole time, there's a lot involved through there. Kevin has the first steps forward that you have to follow. From that point on, you have to be creative. Okay. He can only walk you up part of the stairway. It's a long stairway. So sticking with Kevin knows this about me. We talk on the side a lot, and you probably don't even see me often in the Tuber Chat live streams. That's because I've moved on. It's not because I don't love Kevin. I think the world of him, but it's because I had to let go to go forward. And you're going to have to do that. If you are still on a full-time basis chatting in your live stream with the people that started with you 3 years ago, you haven't moved on. You have to let them go. Everybody has to grow on their own at some point. And Kevin is 100% right on everything he's telling you, because I stuck to that. I put thoughtful comments in. I made sure to hit the thumbs up. I shared out everything I possibly could. But there came a point where it's time to move. I'm sorry to all of those that helped me get to this point, but I can't sit here with you for the rest of my life. I've got to get on with my life. So, there's a lot involved, and don't be afraid to ask. Go into somebody's YouTube channel, not the live stream. I mean, if they have their email in there, or find them on another social media platform and interact with them there. Ask them a question on how to do something. Ask them, what's next in their lineup of videos. Ask them if they would like to do a collaboration with you. Don't do it inside a live stream while they're live right there. And don't do it in their comments below. Hey, buddy, you want to do a collab? Yes. I'm going to scroll right past you. Find another way to reach out and have something to offer them. It'll make a big difference. So you're at the right road right now. You're on the right road, following the program that Kevin set up for you. I was. Yes. I moved right through it, and I never let Kevin forget how appreciative I am for the time that we spend together, even today. Yes. Even today. Now, Kevin probably spends a little bit more time with me because I do have a sparkly personality. So, we do communicate a lot, and we have a lot of the same interests. But it doesn't mean that other creators out there won't be like you, like Kevin and I are with each other. Find them. Go find them. If you sit on your hands and put out the same content and get nowhere, change gears. Yes. So it's wonderful that you're sharing this with us, because this is the aspiration of Tuber Chat, to now start to provide information that from people who've actually done it, from people who've actually been with us, so that we can get up and far beyond that 10,000 subscriber mark, right? The typical live streams that people have known on this channel for the last 3, almost 4 years now, have talked about the beginnings of the YouTube journey. But I've said it many times, I run other channels for other people, that there are different fish to fry on the other side of the fence when we get to that 10,000. So what you're sharing with us
in this production is very insightful for those who aspire to move on towards the 100,000 and maybe even beyond.
Right. Yep. And please, if you see me in Tuber Chat and I don't say hello, it's not because I don't see you, or it's not because I don't like you. It's because I just don't say hello to every single person anymore. I just don't have the time. I appreciate the hello, and if we meet up on a road, that's great. And I'm free to communicate with, as long as it's not in my live stream when it comes to business. But most content creators at this level we want to help see some people succeed. We don't like seeing content. I watch videos out there of content creators, new content creators, and look at the video and go, why did you do that? Oh, you should have asked somebody. There was a better way. So I don't like to see people struggle. So ask Kevin. Send him all the messages you possibly can.
Well, it's wonderful. And thank you for that, Lou, because I've been very fortunate to have friends, in similar circumstances where they do open up and say, hey, if you have more questions, you can go ahead and ask, particularly because on the Two Pineapples channel, you're doing a lot of things there and have been for a long time that are not traditional. We don't see millions of channels with 24-hour live streams. So you've got a different perspective than a lot of other creators. So it's great that you open up to be able to answer questions for people in that way as well, while staying focused on the stream and on the channel itself.
Happy to do it.
So now that your channel's grown so far over the 10,000 mark that we're here to talk about, how do you keep track of everything that you do? I mean, I like to have a notepad and a pen beside me at all times.
Same thing. Same thing. I mean, just page after page after page. Because when I'm watching videos, I take a note. I take a note of what I may have liked in that video, or what I thought looked ridiculous that I thought would look good. I write it down so that when I'm getting ready to do another video, I have my stuff set up. Now, you just did the Google Sheets video for the blood pressure, which is great. I think Excel sheets, Google Sheets, taking this information, I take it from here, I run it through ChatGPT to clean it up. Then I drop it into my sheets so that when I'm ready to produce another video or live stream, most likely, I have my notes of do's and definitely don'ts. So have a notebook. Yes.
That's a great collection. It's interesting. I might have to experiment with that a little bit, but you're right. Now with the technology available, we can take what we're writing down, literally scan it in, and get some of these AI tools and everything else to organize it for us.
Now, you just said the magic word right there. You just take your phone and scan it. And then open up ChatGPT on your phone, on your app, or just go into Google and open it, and it'll automatically write it for you. You don't have to transfer it manually.
Wonderful.
And you're ready to roll.
That's a great, great tip. Okay, so Lou from Two Pineapples, thank you so much for talking to us and giving us so much insight. I hope you'll come back again after you hit the 100,000 subscribers that you're on the way towards.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll probably be back sooner than that. If I hit 50 or 25, maybe somebody gives me an idea with an email that says, hey, I need to talk to you again, and let's bring this up to the community, right? Because we're not going to stop growing. We're not going to give up. We're too far involved, and I hope all of you that are putting your channels together feel the same way, because when you stop, then it's over. Just don't stop. Start before you're ready, and just keep moving forward. And don't worry about the mistakes. Don't worry about the camera angle not being right. Don't worry about having a tripod. If you you hold it, shake it. Have you ever watched some of the best movies out there? You'll see their cameras move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's intentional. There's a place for a tripod, and there's a place for movement in your film. So don't worry about it. Make mistakes. Just keep moving, and you will grow.
So thank you for the motivation as well. And thank you to everybody watching. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody who you think needs to see it. Leave us a comment on this video. Let us know what you thought about the things we've talked about here. And I hope that you will visit 2 Pineapples, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.